What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of R&B Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, one of the biggest movies of the year, according to everyone else.
Yes, sir.
Also one of the most hyped movies of the year. My big question is, did you feel like the movie met the hype?
I don't know if it met the hype. I think it was overhyped a little bit overall. But it was good nonetheless. So definitely recommend it. If you didn't watch it, this is a spoiler warning ahead 100%. Of time. So go watch it, then come back to the video and tell us what you thought in the comments. But yeah, it was a little overhyped, but it was a good movie nonetheless.
I feel like I couldn't even judge it because I heard so many spoilers before. Not like I don't want to say people spoiled it for me, but the internet, the rumors and stuff like that.
Oh, 100%.
And is Andrew Garfield gonna be in the movie?
Tobey Maguire. They're in the cast list.
Yeah, I hated that they did that because now when I was watching the movie,
Jamie Foxx is signed up. The guy that
I seen the Jamie Foxx name for the movie too. So I was expecting these characters to come in. So I would see one character and then I would be like, oh, where's the other character? Where's the other character?
Where are they gonna be?
Where's the other Spider-Man? So
100%.
I feel like because he didn't. Not them, but because it wasn't kept under wraps, it might have ruined the potential for the movie for me. Yeah. Do you feel like that too?
I agree because at that moment where we seen Daredevil show up, our audience was excited. They were happy about it, but I feel like you would have got that with other characters as well. Maybe not every single one because you'd figure out there's a pattern to this, but they definitely should have kept some things under wraps so we could be more shocked.
The Daredevil one was a good one that they kept under wraps because I had no idea Daredevil was going to be on there. Yeah. Did you know?
I only heard something. I didn't know he was going to be in this movie. I heard that Kevin Feige, they said that he's going to be playing Daredevil. The same one that was in the Netflix show is going to be playing Daredevil for the movie. As well.
Yeah, I did hear that, but I just didn't think it was going to be in Spider-Man. But I was hoping that scene when they came in, or when I knew he's going to need a lawyer, I was like, oh, it would be sick if Matt Murdock was going to be his lawyer. But in my mind, I just didn't think he was in that world to be in the movie. So I was like, oh, if Matt Murdock was there, he would be the lawyer. And then I was like, okay, whatever. Then I seen his face and I was like, that was sick. I don't know, that was a good fan moment for me.
There's a lot of cool moments about this. This picks up off of a cliffhanger from the previous movie where Jace Carroll Mysterio shows everybody that, hey, Peter Parker is Spider-Man and he's killed me. And then Joe Jameson?
Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson shows up and he's like, yeah, Spider-Man's a villain. Exactly what he does before in other movies. So we all want to know what happens. Everybody finds it. That's where Daredevil shows up as his lawyer. Yeah. But overall, that was pretty cool to pick up off that. There was definitely lower moments of the movie, but overall,
or low moments that you're I'm not really rocking with it.
There's a lot of emotional stuff. The scene where his Aunt May dies, unfortunately, it sucks for him. Yeah. I feel like he did not do enough.
I was thinking the same thing too.
Because he is Spider-Man. You have Spidey sense. Yeah. You saw Homegirl get smoked from the Green Goblin's little rocket, whatever. Yeah. And he's she took a damage. She didn't just get up and be fine with everything. She took damage and she's saying, I'm fine. And then he was looking, I feel like he was looking at the wound and saying, oh, we're good. And then even when things happened, why didn't you just
try to take her to the ambulance?
100%. Take her to the hospital, something like that.
I was literally thinking the same thing. I was like, it's sad, but he could have done more. He could have tried to web up the bleeding or do something.
100%.
But
yeah.
He really just said, somebody help me, and
he just stood there.
Obviously they were gonna send an ambulance crew in. I don't know. I actually agree with that. I almost forgot about that.
And you could say oh, he's still a kid and he's still in high school going to college. Yeah. But he's been Spider-Man, Avenger for how long now? You should have saved her. That's my opinion.
There's something he could have done. At least that was a weak scene in the writing part. I feel like I wanted to see more characters. What's that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Yeah. I don't know why I expected it to be more.
They just left out the black Spider-Man.
Yeah. I guess because he's not Peter Parker and he's Miles Morales, but it would be sick to see him being there. I don't know. I wanted to see more Spider-Man.
Maybe they're saving that Spider-Man for his own live action.
The Miles Morales? Yeah. That'd be cool if they added him in there.
Because they could have just popped him out of his universe and said, oh, his universe is cartoony and then this is the real version, like Space Jam kind of did. But yeah. I guess they're just saving it. Another low moment was I feel like the comedy between Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and and Tom Holland, it was good. Like I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like it was just so fast. Like it was kind of like they weren't giving enough space between the lines for it to actually like hit the audience. They would just keep going back and forth with each other.
Like you didn't feel like it connected?
It connected, but it was just like too fast. They just kept speeding it up for some reason. I'm not sure why. But it was cool. I liked the characters showing up. Overall, I like the movie, man. I don't know.
I felt like with the characters, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I expected, but I wanted more from those characters, like coming into the scene. Like, it kind of made me realize like why it made me think that I don't really like these Spider-Man that much. Like all of them. Like
I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Like I
really?
feel like he's dope. Like,
I like him, and I feel like his character is good, but I don't feel like it's like lit. Like it just doesn't give me like Spider-Man vibes. Like I don't know.
Maybe the college version will.
Maybe, to be honest, but I can't see him progress into that college version of like a Spider-Man. But he's today's like this generation Spider-Man. But like I don't know. Like I feel like Andrew wasn't that good. I don't know. I just didn't.
Toby's was weird. A lot of people like it. Maybe it's nostalgic, but Toby's was weird to me.
That was like just to be sure, the very first Spider-Man. One, yeah, his was weird. Like he doesn't feel like Spider-Man either. No, like it doesn't feel like, you know who feels like Spider-Man? Like I guess maybe because I played the video game. Like if you play the game, like you kind of connect to that Spider-Man a lot more. Maybe because you spend more time with him. And Miles Morales seems more like a Spider-Man type than like these other guys, but maybe I'm biased because I like to see like black characters more, but that could be it.
So how did you like all these like characters showing up? Maybe some that changed up a little bit. Like I think Doc Ock was kind of different. I'm not too sure how he was different, but he seemed a little different to me.
And like after they changed who he was, or in the beginning?
In the beginning, yeah, he was just a little like more menacing. He wasn't like trying to solve something. He was just kind of just killing to kill. Maybe because it just picked off the last movie and it's been a while since I watched it. Yeah. But like everybody seemed a slightly different than what I was used to. And they introduced Ned's like abilities now. I don't know how you felt about that.
The magic one?
The magic, yeah.
I thought it was just a coincidence. Like I know his mom said like he had abilities, and I don't know which character he's supposed to be in the future, but I thought it was just like a coincidence. Like I thought if you just wore the ring, anyone could have like that power. That's
what they kind of showed, but that's not the case. Like I guess they were hinting towards it. They're like, Ned's like, my grandma says we have magic in our thing. Can I train with you? And he's like, no. And then he picks up the ring, does a little circle thing, and he's able to do it. Sick.
But I just thought it was just like a filler to be like, hey, we're gonna give this guy this power, but he had the ring on. I thought
he shouldn't have been able to master it as fast as he did. Like he was able to create portals, do whatever he needed to do. I guess it was just kind of like something there to help the plot run through and keep going. But he does turn into like a villain in the comics. Ned, Tom Holland's or Spider-Man's friend. So maybe this is like the groundwork.
They reiterate. So when he was in like the lab, they said that I think it was Toby. He's like, my best friend tried to kill me. Like, my best friend turned into a villain and tried to kill me.
And then he's like, when did you know how to do magic? And then Ned shows up and says, listen, I promise I won't try to kill you. I promise I won't turn into a villain and try to kill you.
I can't imagine him as a villain.
Yeah, I guess that was like more of like Easter egg for people that read the comics and stuff. And they're like, oh, he's promised not to do this. That's probably going to happen now. And at the end, like where everybody forgets everything, he forgets that promise to his friend that
would make sense entirely. Because he's like everyone forgets Peter Parker.
Yeah, so that promise is void.
But he doesn't seem like, maybe Peter Parker makes him a nice guy, and then maybe that's why he was who he was, like as a person, like as a nice person, because Peter Parker like influenced him.
Maybe. I felt like MJ was very like kiddish in this one. Like she was very like they're graduating, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's almost college level, but she seemed like she was just entering high school.
None of them gave me like a college level vibe.
Yeah,
none of them weren't. Gave me a college level vibe,
which is weird because normally like they're kids that age is like older.
Yeah, and every other like TV medium, like kids at that age, like they show high school kids like having like full adult conversations. So like it's weird to see like in a Marvel show like they show these high school kids being like actual like almost like little kids in the movie. I don't know. I agree with you in terms of that.
So another low point. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but another low point for me was I thought this movie was gonna be the connecting factor to the multiverse, like the main multiverse. We saw it in the trailers. Like a lot of people had those trailers out with Doctor Strange talking about the multiverse and stuff. And it does hint on it. Like characters are building on it, but I feel like they keep hinting toward this multiverse that I just want to see at the moment now. So
you don't feel like it satisfied your idea?
No, 100%. Like, the connection to the multiverse? No, because I think I leaned towards you and I said, like, I don't know if you heard me, but I leaned towards him and said, this is the reason why the multiverse of madness is happening, because he's like broken something. That spell that they created broke the multiverse into like layering over each other or going into each other. So that's what I was excited about. And then at the end of the movie, they kind of just fix everything by making that spell. Everybody forgets Spider-Man, and now everybody goes back to where they were from, and that's just what happens. So like the whole thing in the movie that happened doesn't matter to the multiverse. But
maybe there's holes like that created holes in the multiverse. I feel like when it comes to stuff like this, they always make like a plot, like not a hole, but like a plot connection. Like, hey, like because he did that, you guys didn't notice this, but like all these little cracks in the multiverse ended up happening.
I feel like it's just I just want to see it by now. Like it's such a long time.
Is his movie the next movie?
Who? Doctor Strange? Yeah, his is the next movie.
Yeah, they're gonna. I didn't watch the trailer
of that,
like because they showed the trailer at the end. Also, by the way, they showed the trailers at the end. If you don't watch trailers, just don't pay attention.
There's two post-credit scenes, there's two credit scenes at the end. One's mid. Watch that one, and then the end credit scene probably not watch. It's just a trailer. It's nothing actually.
I thought it was gonna be like an actual connection.
Yeah, because they've never done that before. They never showed us a trailer.
Maybe lazy.
Yeah,
I wanted to say that this kind of detracts from everything, but the movie proved one of your theories wrong.
Which one?
Spider-Man being set up to be the next Iron Man.
Yeah.
They literally killed that theory. When they said everyone forgets Spider-Man, I was like, they actually murdered that theory. When I seen that, I was like, oh dang, like it looks like.
What if now he can become like the Spider Iron or something, Iron Spider?
But where is he gonna get the connection? He's not connected to Stark Industries.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure. He's smart enough. Like he's going to MIT, which Robert Downey went to.
Not anymore.
Huh?
Not anymore though.
Oh yeah, he's not because he was doing the GED.
He went from MIT to try to get a GED.
So if that's another thing that was kind of weird, but if he was able to get to MIT through connections with MJ and Ned, then maybe he will be able to talk to the girl that's playing Ironheart. And then I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did she go to MIT?
She goes to MIT, and there was like theories that Robert Downey Jr. knew about her because he knows about everything in MIT.
You think they'll end up pushing him to MIT?
I hope so, no, but I don't think. No, wait, yeah. See, that theory's gone out the window because MIT's in Boston, and I don't see them taking Spider-Man out of New York.
I want to know why, like, how they're gonna spin it where he was able to rent an apartment. He has no history. I thought he'd be still in the school system, but like people forget.
How do you forget everything?
He's not in the school system. He has no history, but he's able to rent an apartment and it's obviously gonna be in Manhattan. Like, how did he pull that? Where did he get the money? Like, there's so many things that I'm thinking of. I'm like, that was literally impossible.
That apartment building looks terrible, but it's still probably racking in $1,500.
I was like, yo, where is he gonna get the money to pay this, and who's gonna give him this apartment with no background, no information, nothing? I don't know. That felt like a little bit too much for me.
I think we're just like harping on little things.
The little things.
We just gotta move on from that.
Who's your favorite villain? Like coming in?
I think they were all kind of lame.
I liked Electro.
I like his character, like him saying.
I felt like he was mad funny. Like he was like,
he was funny, 100%.
I think he was a better villain in this movie than he was in like the last one. Like who he was in this one was better than the last one. I think that they kind of ruined Sandman. Like not ruined him in terms of like the comic books, but ruined him in the movie because they made him seem like, hey, he's kind of a good guy, and then like, oh, now he's just a villain. Like I don't know. Like I felt like that was like a stretch. I feel like Dr. Octopus was done right. For reasons I can't say because it's a spoiler for something else. I feel like the Green Goblin wasn't my like. I know he had like a split personality, but that wasn't my idea of like who the Green Goblin was. And then like I wanted to see like the Norman, and I guess they're limited by the old movie, but like the Norman Osborn and like his sons, like that trope. But there wasn't Oscorp to like kind of like
go through those but things. They do present a ethical question, and we both like the ethical course and like the Power that we watch, Power book 2. So they do present an ethical question where it's like these people don't belong in your universe, but if they go back, they end up dying. So what would be your choice there? I know your choice.
I said, just send them back.
Send them back. It's not your problem.
They were villains when they came there in this timeline. You have to keep the timeline whole. Like that decision, it's not up to you to change the timeline.
But that doesn't change timeline. It's a multiverse, so those are things that are going at the same time.
I felt like...
Are you sending them back because it's not your problem and it would fix your problems?
I feel like it's because that's just what's meant to be. Like, as soon as Doctor Strange says, hey, that's what's supposed to happen,
you're like, all right, cool, bet we can do that. You guys gotta
go back. I felt bad because his mother died because he made that decision to keep them. And I'm like, or not, Aunt May died, sorry, because he made that decision to keep them. And I was like, I would be so cheesed. Like, I would be like, you guys don't deserve a second chance.
After she died?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to keep giving him a chance when that happens. But he also has a split personality, so it's like he has these issues. That's also like saying, are like villains redeemable, or should you just, because if they commit a crime, like you're getting to that level where it's like, if they do anything wrong, like might as well kill them because they're not redeemable, right? So
Electro wasn't a redeemable character. I feel like but I feel like they went about it wrong because his issue wasn't a personality issue. They really just tried to take away his power. They said, we're gonna take away all your power, and like that's how we're gonna fix you. I felt like that was kind of wrong because he didn't want that taken away from him. I feel like Dr. Octopus did have a personality issue, and they replaced the chip, and that fixed his personality issue. Norman Osborn,
because it wasn't personality, it was those nanotech. I think it was nanotech that was like corrupting his thought process.
Exactly. So he kind of deserved it. Sandman, I don't know what was the issue was. He wanted to be human. Yeah, but like I don't think he was redeemable because the issue, like taking away their power doesn't make them redeemable. Like they're still who they were at the end of the day. Like their personality was the same.
Their choices are what defines
them. So there's only two people who deserve to be redefined. The other people, like they made the choice. Like Electro, given a second chance, decided to like go all power out again. What's to say he goes back to his reality and doesn't decide to like
try it again?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's true. It's all like ethical questions are all like from perception based most of the time.
Do you feel What If kind of did the multiple reality multiverse thing better than 100%. The Spider-Man movie? Easily? Yeah, were you thinking that when you're watching it?
I wasn't thinking it, but I was just hoping. Like I was zoned into this movie and I was just hoping. And you know what happens is like, so I watch these movies and I've already made like predictions for like this phase, that phase, these movies, what's gonna happen. I have theories on all this stuff.
Yeah.
So when I go watch these movies and I'm like, yo, this was pretty sick. And then I'm watching it, I'm zoned in completely. And then as the time progresses and it's been a day or two after I've watched it, I'm like, okay, like why did this happen? Well, what was the reason for this? They didn't really show me this. They didn't do that. And then, for example, I was listening to our Eternals episode.
Yeah.
And then you had valid points. You're like, Icarus's like thought process, it didn't make sense. Like him just giving up on his so-called family. They should have been a family. I was wrong in that instance, and you were right. They should have been a family.
Yeah.
And then Icarus just giving up on that and just doing what he was told overall. Like it just never seemed like plausible or good in any instance. So there's a lot of holes in like the movies, but this one I was like zoned into, but I still didn't like how they presented the multiverse.
Yeah,
I thought they need to like slowly grasp it because now they're just gonna go into Doctor Strange and I don't know, something's gonna happen which causes the multiverse to break and everything's gonna happen and now I've gotta go through the whole loop again.
I wonder if they're like with this movie, and don't get me wrong, like the movie was good and I liked it. I feel like this movie, they're like, yo, it'll be, if we do all of this, like this is a good movie no matter what really the script and the story is. Like, hey, we add these characters together, we put these old villains and make it like nostalgic. Like everyone's gonna like it. Yeah, fanfare. Everyone's gonna like it because we did this, because we took an approach that most people haven't done. I wonder if they're gonna do the same thing with Doctor Strange, but make it an Inception type movie and be like, I never watched Inception, but like whatever that is, like people really like. I feel like that's the route they're gonna go, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh, this was just like Inception." That's what makes it so.
Inception is overrated. It isn't overrated. I have a list of movies that like are supposed to be classics that I watch. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie, but it's so overrated because I guess they watched it in that time frame, and then they just keep that first perspective in mind, and they think it's super sick, but things come out that are better overall. Like Interstellar is a better movie if you want something that makes you think. Interstellar is better than Inception. Inception was good, nonetheless it was good, but I agree with you. They might hold it to this category where it's like just weird things happening with the magic and such. But they did say this is like the first horror style film, you know?
Oh, is it a horror style?
Yeah, like it's supposed to be R-rated and darker version.
That would be sick. I feel like What If kind of goes like explores some of that route. Not R-rated, but like explore some of like the darker themes with like Doctor Strange. But if this... Now I'm more interested in knowing that it's R-rated than before, and they have a baddie on the in the movie. So like now I'm more interested. Yeah. So I feel like that would be a lot more interesting. I feel like Doctor Strange...
that trailer was terrible for us. That we watched I watched a lot, like half of it at least, or most of it. Yeah. And then I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have watched that.
Yeah, because you were, to be honest, they kind of, because you always expect like a scene, but never a trailer. So like I'm watching it, expecting them to be like, I don't know. I feel like that trailer was bad. Oh, the Venom thing, the Venom situation.
It's kind of pointless, in my opinion.
I didn't watch the Venom movie.
You didn't?
So like with the Venom, so basically Venom in the movie, in the end of the movie, spoiler alert, Venom ends up getting transported to the main, or to Tom Holland's like universe. And then they show that in the end. So people thought, hey, he was going to be a big part of the movie. So then in the end credits of this movie, Venom ends up eating, like he's at a bar or whatever. And then like he gets transported back to his time because everyone forgets Peter Parker. And a little bit of his like of the symbiote is left on like the bar table.
Which doesn't make sense. Because like how does the whole symbiote and him go away but the symbiote stays? Like they break their own rules. Like they create these things and they just break their own rules. Maybe it's like if you rip
a cloth, like.
But it's a living thing. A symbiote is a living organism.
Yeah, it is. It is living.
And regardless, his clothes, Eddie Brock's clothes went back.
But what if you ripped a piece of your shirt and it fell? Would that go back too? I don't know. Sure. But you're right. They did try to stretch it. Because I feel like they're going to use that and then be like...
Oh, now he comes the Spider-Man with the thing. I don't even want to see that anymore. Like I feel like that's done. Like, keep that in the past. Like, I'd rather see, like, Kingpin or something. I don't want to see the symbiote take over Spider-Man because he just has this innate hate for him.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't... Like, I think that one movie or two movies has just been, like, we're good with it.
Because
realistically, they're showing us the same cycle of
Spider-Man and that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, can we move on now?
Will they ever? I don't think they'll ever make Spider-Man like more of like a serious movie. Yeah. I don't think they'll ever.
No, because it's for kids for sure.
Yeah,
but like we can see him in college. Like we have comic books where he's in college and people really like it.
Yeah,
like can we move from college to life after college and he's in New York
and
now?
And be more mature. I want to see that, but I just don't think they'll ever do it because he's so popular. They're like, yo, we need to make this movie like we need to make the storyline like a little bit basic so everyone can understand it and everyone can love it. I just don't see them graduating to that.
No, because they have the 3 movies. They've already done the high school. He's getting his GED, so he can go to college. He's a very smart guy, and he's signed on for 3 more movies. You don't think we're gonna see college? Because MG's in college.
No, we'll see college, but I still think he'll be because like to make the movie more mature, your villain has to be more mature, right? Mm-hmm. Kingpin is like a very good mature villain because I think you can make Kingpin kind of like a Thanos type a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we'll see that. Who else does he have?
They should ask 50 Cent to come through and direct Kingpin stuff.
Yeah, I think that would be super sick. I feel like he could
less dramatic stuff. Yeah, but overall build
that character. That would be super sick. But I just don't think they'll ever do it. Like they'll ever get that like deep with it. Mm-hmm. And it's a Disney movie, like because you would have to make it where. The thing about those villains is like, hey, I'm a villain, but like you kind of see why they do what they do. But like I feel like Disney will always demonize, except Thanos. With Thanos, they got it right. But like I feel like they'll always demonize someone like the Kingpin to make it right. I don't know. That's just how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I hope we see something like a little bit more mature overall.
Did you like Flash Thompson? How'd you feel about Flash Thompson?
He was killing me. He was mad funny.
I found him funny.
I think he's turning into a villain or something. They had I didn't really catch this part, but I seen it something on Twitter.
Yeah.
Where they have a picture of him like talking to reporters. And he's supposed to be like a villain in some sense, but he was killing me. He was just funny. He's
actually hilarious.
He's like Spider-Man's the Peter Parker, or Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Man, that sucks. And then he's like, all right, let me tell everybody that you know me. I'm your best friend.
Yeah.
Or he asked for a favor. He's like, okay, what do I get in return? He's just a funny guy.
I noticed he had like the Gucci, like the Gucci. I don't know if it was a tracksuit, but he had like the all Gucci top.
You're loving designer now.
It actually reminded me a little bit about Power. Like they actually showed that he's actually rich. Like he's like this rich kid, and like they and then when he told them, oh, I got into MIT, and then like none of them got into MIT, I was like, God, it was funny, but at the same time it was like deep. I felt like some of the ending scenes where like they defeat the villains like one by one, I felt like that could have been a lot more deep, or I wanted to see like more of a deepness with it. I wanted to see kind of like them popped into like back to the moment before they die and then see kind of what happens there. But I don't know. I know that like that they'll never show us that, but that would be kind of cool to see. I think What If showed us that. Like at the end when everyone kind of went back to their own timeline. Yeah. It kind of showed us like, well, it showed us it showed us all of them. It showed all of them after they went back to their own timeline. Oh, that's a spoiler. Hopefully you watch What If. Yeah.
What would you say about the end? So like, everybody forgot about Peter Parker. They don't know he's Spider-Man. They know Spider-Man's around still, friendly neighborhood guy. But he goes back to the diner where MJ's working. He's having this like connection. He's supposed to say like, he's supposed to tell her, because he promised that, but nobody cares about promises. Nobody cares about promises, but he didn't tell her, and he has this thing. What did you think about that stuff?
I felt like it was good he didn't tell her, because that would have been mad weird. I felt like the interaction felt real, like she actually forgot, like not in no part of that they did the corny, like she kind of remembers like in the back of her mind,
and she's like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Coffee.
So I think that was kind of cool that they kind of stuck to their guns. I wish he interacted with his friend, but he didn't.
That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, this guy did not acknowledge the boy.
That's not true. Like he didn't even like talk to him or say anything to him, and I feel like that would be easy because all he has to do is talk to him about the same things they were talking about before, and he would still be interested in that stuff. I don't know. Or you could even just say, hey, I'm Spider-Man. And then his friend would not Mary Jane, but like his friend would be like, oh my God, you're Spider-Man, da 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 da. Yeah. And he'd really rock with him. I don't know. I felt like that was an alright scene. How'd you feel about that scene?
That's the only thing. I just didn't like how he didn't talk to Ned. Like, go talk to your boy first, or at least second. This guy just cut him off completely. After watching this movie, I felt like it was a top 5 Marvel movie overall. There was a lot of good points to it. After watching it, now I'm not sure if I put it into that. I'm not sure if it's a top 5.
After like sleeping on it?
After like a few days, I'm like, I don't know if I put it to that, because there's a lot of like missed points. They didn't even do the Spider-Man meme. They could have done the Spider-Man
Apparently
meme.
Shaq said they did the Spider-Man meme in the end credits. Oh, the one where they're all pointing at each other?
Yeah, they should have done that. They dropped the ball.
They did it in the end credit. Yeah, what the hell? That would have been perfect.
Yeah, that was kind of useless. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I'm just not happy about. I feel like this is a weird place because it's the best Spider-Man movie from Tom Holland, in my opinion, but it also makes his Spider-Man less of a interesting person. I don't know why. I just feel like that. Like, the other movies, I was like super interested in his version of Spider-Man. Yeah. And this movie is better than the other two, but now his Spider-Man is not at par with what I was expecting.
You know what? It kind of puts him in the movie in a situation for it to be a rewrite of who he is in general. Yeah. Because like now they have a blank slate. They could say whatever they want.
On the next movies and such.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, but then imagine he's in the next overall arc, and then. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's interesting. Now that you say that,
I feel like I have too much hope for these movies to like put people in like make them into the next level of what they are. Like, just potential wise, like I want them to reach the next level. Like if they're still like Super Saiyan, like I would like, oh, the next movie he's definitely reaching Super Saiyan 3 type level. But I don't know. I get let down.
Now that I think about it, like every Spider-Man has always had like their friends and family that he's like trying to balance between being Spider-Man and being like a friends and family person. So I wonder how he's gonna do that in this one.
In the next one, or how does Ned and MJ come into the next Spider-Man movie? Do we see them?
I feel like they won't.
They won't. Maybe the second, like next
later
2
on,
movies
like
from cameo. Now. Yeah.
Oh, I had a point, but I lost. I hate when that happens. Spider-Man, the last part, I can't even remember.
Ned becoming a villain. Those are pretty much like the main topics. I didn't like. Okay. So would you have killed Green Goblin?
Nah, because the reason why is because he literally had the most split personality ever. Like, he literally was like a completely different person. So having met the person before, I could separate the two and be like, you know what, this guy.
Had you not met him, you would have killed him.
Yeah, had I not met him, I would just assume, like, had I not met him and someone's like, oh, by the way, he has a split personality, I wouldn't like trust that. I'd be like, how do I know he's not gonna be like this for the rest of his life?
Yeah, I wouldn't have killed him regardless, but I would definitely beat him up like he did. Like, he smoked him, and I honestly didn't even know Green Goblin had like powers at this point. Like, I didn't know he had super strength or something.
He's kind of like a Captain America type, kind of like a Spider-Man, but like his serum, depending on which ones you watch, he continuously needs that serum, or that's that one-time serum like works, but it makes him go crazy.
True.
Oh yeah, I did agree with, like, after watching the movie, it wasn't the sickest movie like that I seen before. Like, the hype like kind of died off, and after thinking about it, I'm like, oh, this movie is like all right.
Same thing as I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's not even like I don't think it's top 5 at all.
You don't think it's top 5?
No, but I think the idea was good, and they gave us what we wanted. But maybe because I knew some of the story that people said, like, oh, this guy's gonna be in it, this guy's gonna be in it, kind of ruined it. But if I didn't know that, it could possibly be in the top 5, because everything would be shocking to me. I see Andrew Garfield, and then I wouldn't even know that Tobey Maguire was gonna be. So I'd be shocked seeing him. Right?
Yeah, if you didn't know.
Yeah, if I didn't know. So like,
it's perfect for people that don't even think about stuff. Idea.
Yeah. One of my boys, Maro, he has no idea. Like,
he's good.
He's good. He has absolutely no idea, because he's not on social media.
I think the one guy that's going tonight has no clue what's gonna go.
That's gonna
down.
be lit for him. So I feel like that's gonna be special for those guys.
I think if they didn't do the spells that everybody forgets, Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Then or Peter Parker in general.
Yeah.
Then maybe that part would be better for me for the movie.
Yeah.
And if they broke, like, if he was able to, Doctor Strange was able to send everybody back to their original universes, but the multiverse was still broken, I feel like that would have just like made the movie a hit for me, because I'm really waiting on this like multiverse stuff. I really want to see of like everything that happens, like these next phases. I just want to see like something really pop off, because everything's like, it's a tease and then nothing cool happens. A tease, nothing cool happens. Eternals, I was predicting at least a hint or show towards the mutant gene. Like,
yeah,
just show me a mutant gene in general.
I have like questions. So you want, when you say like nothing big happens, like you want to see the world change from the movie type thing?
Yeah, like I want MCU to be affected.
Okay.
I want, so like the Spider-Man movie, because of the trailers that I did not want to watch, then kept talking about the multiverse, I was assuming the MCU was gonna change. Yeah, nothing changed. Eternals, I thought the MCU was gonna change. They did show us something. Nothing changed. Like, these shows aren't changing anything. The biggest change I've seen thus far is from Loki, which I didn't like the show like particularly that well. Yeah, and WandaVision. That's about it, but nothing was crazy big change.
Now that I think about it, you're right. Nothing did change. I didn't think about it like that. Like,
maybe I'm asking for too much, because Endgame was just 2 years ago. I think
you only have like in every generation like 1 or 2 movies that changes everything.
Yeah.
I feel like the other movies though, like you had the Avengers every so often, so it felt like things changed. But like, it's gonna take so much for things to change.
100%.
But I was also gonna ask. Golly, I keep forgetting. This is a bad day for me.
Golly, brother.
Avengers changing, Spider-Man. What excites you for, like, is that the only thing that excites you for the Multiverse of Madness? Or like, what are you looking for? Ask this question with people with like the music album. Like, what makes you excited for like that album? Is it the big change, or like you think they're gonna have like a sick story?
Because if there's a big change, I can assumedly like break down like what's gonna be the change or how it's gonna play out. It's fun for me to do that. I don't know. Did you watch the trailer at the end for the end credit scene? Because there's something
I definitely stopped halfway through.
Okay, what happened? What's the last thing you remember?
Last thing I remember is he meets WandaVision, and then he's like, oh, we don't care about that. We only care about.
We need your help. Yeah. So that part just washes a lot of like the Doctor Strange stuff. Yeah. Because Wanda's a powerful being. Like, she's a Nexus being. So in the multiverse, I was assuming like stuff's gonna pop off. Dr. Strange's gonna say, well, yo, what's up? And she's gonna say, I don't care about you, dude. I'm trying to get my kids.
Yeah.
And then like they were just gonna go at it. That's what I was gonna see. I was gonna see something big like that. That didn't happen. That's not gonna happen. Just because of that trailer, just threw that out the window. Yeah. So I don't know. Now the Doctor Strange movie isn't that sick. The Multiverse of Madness is probably just gonna be like how the What If episode was, where these creatures are coming through with all this power and such. I'm not sure. I'm not really too excited anymore.
You think the Tribunal is gonna be there?
Living Tribunal, no. I think the Living Tribunal will be like above like Eternals level, like that area.
Yeah.
Because their Living Tribunal is a celestial, right? So that's probably gonna be that Eternal stuff.
I was expecting to see the Watcher.
The Watcher in this one?
I thought like in the trailer, like because he was in a situation where they're like, oh, you can't mess with the time and think you can get away with it. Like that, someone said that in the trailer. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking like the Watcher is gonna be like
trailer for what?
For What If? Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, like
there's like a voice in there that said like you can't get away with this. So I thought the Watcher was gonna be present. And like in whatever scene, like I thought the Watcher, because he watches the time thing, like yo, you messed with the time.
He still can be. He can still be in the Doctor Strange stuff.
He can be in the movie, but I just thought he was gonna be like. I guess he can. I guess they just might not have showed it. Mm-hmm. And I also expected to see Loki. Like I think Loki might have like something to do with it because it's like the time thing. And then I guess there's Kang too.
Kang's a big one.
Could be in it, and. You know what I thought of immediately when he was like in that situation? I thought of the other Doctor Strange from What If. Like some of this, I feel like the Doctor Strange from What If kind of helps build my character on like the type of person he is. Like when he broke the rules of time to do what he did, because I watched What If, it made sense that he would do something like that, like for Peter Parker.
Yeah, I don't know. Now like I'm not that hyped on a lot of the things. I think the next thing I'm like very hyped on is Black Panther 2, and I just hope we don't get too much news about it.
Yeah.
I saw one like article header and I just have to close everything.
That would be so cheap. Like it's so annoying when they add that stuff to like the header and they don't like adjust for spoilers.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That's pretty much it. What would you rank the movie?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what would you rate? I'll rate it 8. But like I feel like it's a 7.5 in my personal list, but I don't want to dock it points because the internet spoiled things for me. So I would give it an 8. I feel like for some people it could be like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. So I was in that range. I was 8.7 when I first watched it. Yeah. But like giving some time and everything, I would drop it down to like an 8.1, 8.2 if I'm generous. But that's pretty much it. Like there was like talking about it, like you'll just figure out like, hey man, like this wasn't as cool as I wanted it to be.
Yeah. But I'm blaming
the internet.
People. I'm blaming the internet. I'm not blaming like the director and producer. They could only do so much, and like they like I think about how I felt when I seen Matt Murdock. So imagine if I didn't know like when Dr. Octopus came on the screen, I was kind of confused because I'm like, yo, was he in the movies before? And I was like, I don't know why I was confused. I knew he was gonna be in there, but I was like, I don't think he was in the movies before. Like his introduction was kind of like weird to me, but like I knew like the other guys were gonna come in, so I wasn't shocked. Like it would have been like weird to see like, oh my god, one guy, oh another guy, oh another guy. Electro was kind of cool to see. I think he fits more in this universe than he did in like the Andrew Maguire universe. And
the thing I liked was the battle between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Spider-Man did look to be like Spider-Man's like on a different level. He can be on a different level.
Yeah,
that's that next Super Saiyan level I can see for him, but he's still young, and I guess
they took. Funny enough, that scene reminds me of something in the video game. Like the aspect of it reminds me. It's not really a spoiler, but like there's a scene. That scene almost felt like it was taken from the Sony video game. Mm-hmm. But that was good. But is there anything else?
That's pretty much it for me.
Almost time for you to wrap it. He's about to watch the movie twice.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for us. If you guys got any comments or suggestions on what we should be reviewing, leave them in the comments. I know my friends will hit me up and be like, oh, you should watch this. Just leave them in the comments and we'll check them out. We definitely look at every comment there. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, and Google Podcasts to have the audio format of this. But we'll be back with some extra content, some different things. Hawkeye's finishing up this week. So just keep up to date with our channels. Yeah.
Easy, guys.